Welcome back to day 7 of our 21 Days of Gratitude Challenge. Today we are talking about wheat and weeds, which is found in Matthew 13, verses 24 through 30. This is the story of a man who planted wheat in his field and his enemy who snuck onto his property in the middle of the night to plant weeds there. The farmer and his family did not see the enemy coming. They did not hear him or notice him at all. In fact, the enemy must have done a good job covering his tracks because the farmer didn't even notice the soil had been turned. So the farmer tended to his field like he normally would, unaware of what else was there. He unknowingly watered, fertilized, nurtured, and tended to the weeds. I wonder if he even spent extra money on labor tending to his field, which was growing more than he'd planted. Did it cost him more money or time away from his family to work in his polluted field? Imagine how he felt after the wheat began to sprout. He was probably proud of his work, a return on his investment, and a beautiful display of growth, but next to his bounty, he began to notice something else. It wasn't what he planted, not what he wanted, not what he was looking for. It was bad. It could not be sold. It could not be turned into food for his family. Plus, it was taking up space and valuable nutrients from the seeds he was tending to that could produce something more for him. On top of that, his field workers doubted him. They asked, "Didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" In Matthew chapter 13, verse 27. Imagine the farmer's embarrassment that he didn't even know what was growing in his field after all the time he'd spent working in it. He wasted valuable resources, and now his pride was hurt too. In this moment, he had a decision to make. He could pull up the weeds, ridding himself of the embarrassment, lightening the load of his workers, or he could allow the weeds to continue growing with the wheat until it was time to harvest. Ultimately, he decided to leave the weeds and continue to invest in them along with the wheat. The text doesn't say he sought after his enemy to get revenge. It also doesn't say there was less crop because of the weeds. All we know is this unnamed farmer just continued on. Gratitude is seeing and celebrating the good around you. As we practice gratitude, we become more aligned with the perspective of the farmer. Our lives, just like the field, are full of good and bad moments. There's no way to avoid the weeds, no matter how much we care for our wheat. Living a life with a posture of gratitude shifts our focus toward the good, despite the weeds that threaten to shift our focus away from it. Each day we're sharing a little bit from my book, The Way of Gratitude here, but we're just sharing a little piece of the devotional. And my hope is that if this is resonating with you, that you would head to my website, head to Amazon, purchase the book, and dive a little bit deeper, get a little bit more of the reflection, engage with the scripture a little bit more, answer the questions a little bit more, just dive a little bit deeper into this resource. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to follow along here, or you can head to my website, hannahrowanfry.com, and get on the email list and have some daily email reminders, or buy the book if you're interested in diving a little bit deeper into gratitude, into these prompts.